Welcome back, everybody, to the Double S NFL podcast. Both here again, and today we're going to talk about the Houston Texans, who went 4-13 last year and had raced to the third overall pick.
Yeah, they were pretty awful. They had no offense, absolutely no defense. I feel bad for Cam. I felt very bad for Cameron Johnston.
Yeah, I felt bad for David Culley too a little bit.
He did not deserve to be fired.
Not at all. He deserved another year at least. Like, if you
That
inherit that,
Texans team realistically should have gone 0-17.
yeah, everyone had them winning 0, maybe 1 game, and they won 4. Like, they had a couple of good upsets too against the Chargers and Titans.
Beat the one seed in the AFC and a team that could have and should have made the playoffs. And didn't they sweep Jacksonville?
They did, yeah, they did. They swept them a couple of years in a row now, I think.
Swept them 2020.
All right.
I don't
So,
think they've lost to the Jags since 2017.
oh yeah, I think they lost like week 1, 2017, and that was the last time.
Week 1 and week 14 or 15, 2017.
They got blown out like both times, but they've dominated the Jacks since. But we'll get to the schedule soon, but that's going to change this year. What do you think of their draft?
Um, Personally, for me, anything could have been better than what they had. So Derek Staley pick doesn't bother me, even though I thought they should have drafted Edge.
Yeah, Thibodeau.
And Kenyon Green is fine, even though I thought they could have gotten other linemen.
Yeah. Who would you have taken instead of Kenyon Green at pick 15?
I don't know. There were many. Zion Johnson I would have taken over Kenyon Green. That's really all I can think of that got taken there. Trevor Penning I would have taken over Trevor Green.
Trevor Penning, in my opinion, was closer to a third round pick than a first. He's absolutely awful. All right. Anyways, Stingley, he was my cornerback 2 in the class, but I don't have high hope for his rookie year. Like,
He did just come off Lisfranc surgery, so that's a concern.
and he was lights out in 2019, his freshman year at LSU, but since then it's been all downhill, which like kind of hurts to see. I thought he'd be the next generational prospect, but I don't think he's gonna be like that type of player in the NFL, at least not right away. Like I'm not expecting like a Pat Surtain type rookie year. I'd probably say more like an AJ Terrell 2020 season than that, but I like the potential a lot. If he stays healthy, the sky's the limit for Stingley. What do you think of them signing Marlon Mack?
Okay, signing. I I mean, he's probably going to be RB2.
Yeah, behind Pierce, I'm assuming.
Damian Pierce.
Yeah, I love
We'll get to him when we go over team awards.
Team awards. But yeah, I love the Jalen Petre pick. Like he was a first round talent in my opinion coming out of Baylor. I think he's gonna be a star at safety. I don't know about his rookie year, but down the line for sure. And then they also signed AJ Can, who's a decent guard. Like the interior of that line did get a lot better this offseason. I will say that. What do you think?
That was a decent signing that could be a very big help. And the Texans need help anywhere they can
All
get it.
across the board, yeah. All across the board. All right. For the first question mark I have with this team, even though I liked what I saw last year, is Davis Mills. Like he was decent last year, but at the same time, like a lot of his touchdowns and like production came in garbage time. So that's my concern. Like, is that sustainable? I'm not sure. And I don't know if he'll be the franchise guy. But we'll see after this year. We'll know if they win 6, 7 games, then he probably is. If they win 2 or 3 games, he's probably not. Um, how do you think Stingley will do in as a rookie?
I think he'll do fine. I think it'll be a very average rookie year,
Up and down.
up and down.
And what are your thoughts on head coach Lovie Smith?
I think he'll be like a 2, 3 year coach. I don't think he lasts long in Houston. I really don't.
You think they'll like be decent at all under him or no?
Oh, I have them being completely terrible this year. I will see about next year what they do.
Yeah, but it's looking pretty rough as of now. Oh wait, my bad. Shoot. Wait, one sec. There we go. All right. Um, positional grades. What are your personal thoughts on quarterback Davis Mills?
I think he's a bottom tier starter.
Do you
So
think
that puts him in the C minus range. I'm gonna give it a C.
he's on the tier, in my opinion, of like Jimmy, Tua, Baker? No. Where are you thinking?
Like Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold,
What do you think
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, that tier.
what do you think makes him like in that tier as opposed to like the tier above him?
Those that tier is more proven.
Yeah, that's fair. Like you'd have him, yeah, like the Zach Wilson, Fields, Trevor Lance, that tier.
Yeah.
Fair. This
I
run
also like to throw Daniel Jones in that tier, but
Mariota, even.
Mariota, yeah.
The run game, I gave it a C minus, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's decent this year.
I'm
Uh,
very high on Damian Pierce.
I love Pierce too. It's only that he's unproven, or else this group would be a lot higher. I think Pierce could legitimately have 1,000 yards on the ground this year if he can be like the workhorse back starting from week 1. I really like his ceiling.
Overall, for that running back group, I have to agree with you with the C minus.
What do you think about the receivers?
Outside of Brandon Cooks, it's a whole lot of blah.
Do you like Nico Collins at all?
A little bit. He's nothing more than a wide receiver 3 for me, but
As a Michigan fan, I loved Collins coming out of college, but we didn't see the production from him that I thought I was going to last year. But the potential is still there, and I think he can be a solid 2 or 3 for them down the road. But as of right now, this receiving core outside of Brandon Cooks is not very good. And Davis Mills supporting cast other than Cooks is downright awful right now.
what do you think about the tight ends?
I love Brevin Jordan, I will say that, and they did add a solid blocker in Adam Shaheen. But other than that, it's not that inspiring. What do you think?
I agree with that. There's nothing much there.
Yeah. We'll talk about it at the end too, but this is most likely the most boring team in the NFL. Like, there's no like players that are like wow, like for like a bad team like the Bears or Falcons. Their players like they're high ceiling players. For this team, I don't see it. What do you think about
At
that?
least on the Falcons and Bears, you have Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, David Montgomery,
Yeah,
Roquan Smith, even if he's even still there.
yeah, I think he's gonna be out of there. But do you like the D line, especially with Jonathan Greenyard?
Um, it's all right. I'll give it a C plus.
The linebackers are. I was almost gonna give this a C minus, but I decided to be nice because like as a Jets fan, Blake Cashman has never like basically seen the field. Like potential is certainly there. Like his ceiling is like one of the better linebackers in the league, but at the same time, if you can't stay healthy, you can't produce. What do you think about their corner room? I think it's pretty underrated.
Decent. I like Derek Stinley. I like Derek Stinley, but I don't know what else is there.
I like in the slot Tavir Thomas a lot. That's a name to keep an eye on for this year. Tavir Thomas. Oh, also, I like Desmond King. That was a solid signing.
Desmond King. I remember him.
And then, like a dark horse for defensive rookie of the year at safety is Jalen Petrie, but their depth is among the worst in the league, so that's why to see for me. Who's your team MVP for Houston?
I'm gonna go Brandon Cooks.
We're in the Cooks. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I think he'll have like 1,100 yards again. He'll be carrying this offense on his back for like the fourth straight year. Watson carried it in 2020. Offensive player of the year. It cannot be the same player. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Damian Pierce. I think he has over 1,000 yards as a rookie year.
I
That
would.
doesn't mean the Texans will be any good, but
Yeah, obviously. Um, who's your defensive player of the year for them?
um, I'm probably gonna go Jalen Petrie.
Yeah, that's a fair choice. It's either him or Greenyard. And there's like no talent on this defense at all. It's like rookies and a bunch of like mediocre veterans like Novell Hewitt. Um, Ross Blacklock has not proven anything. He was actually taken like above like star players in that second round that year, and it's just yeah. My breakout pick is Nico Collins though. Like I think he can be like a 750, 800 yard receiver with like 4 or 5 touchdowns this year, but I'm not expecting anything too big. What do you think for breakout?
Breakout. I'm not too sure.
What about rookie Stingley?
Stingley or Petrie. Am I allowed to pick the same player for Depoy and rookie of the year?
Yeah, it's fine. So you'd go
Yeah,
Petrie.
I go Jalen Petrie.
I'm going different player, so I'll say Stingley, but I think the most impactful rookie is either going to be Pierce or Stingley. Their X factor player, I think, that could have a big part if they do really well is Jonathan Greenard. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Greener too.
And then a letdown player, it's more based off training camp when I'm hearing, but is Marlon Mack. There's not a lot to choose here. I could have gone Davis Mills.
All
I
right.
I could have gone Titus Howard, but who do you have for letdown?
I'm gonna go Marlon Mack as well.
My record prediction for Houston is 2-15 with wins over the Bears and a win over the Jaguars, fourth in the AFC South and dead last in the AFC. What do you have them at?
I have 3-14, fourth in the AFC South, 16 in the AFC.
Who do you think they beat?
I think they beat the Titans, Giants, and Commanders.
So you think the Jags sweep them?
Yes.
Then a little over under game. How many passing touchdowns do you think Mills has in year two?
I'm gonna go under, and I'm gonna say 20.
How many picks do you think he'll have?
15.
So I'm gonna change this one to Damian Pierce. Over or under 850 rushing yards for Damian Pierce.
Over.
Yeah, they could be a run heavy team, especially if Mills struggles. So I'm gonna say about the same. And then over under 8 sacks for Jonathan Greenard.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go 7.
7. All right, this was a pretty bland team. The next two teams are actually our favorite team. So that'll be quite interesting. Certainly be some more debate there, but that'll do it for this episode.